Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. Mark here, and can we just talk about GTC 2025 for a second? Seriously, Jenny, seeing what NVIDIA is doing in life sciences, it's just...
All right, deep breaths, Mark. I can already feel the tech excitement radiating off of you. But yes, GTC was quite the whirlwind, and I hear they really leaned into the healthcare and drug discovery angle this year. More than ever, it seemed.
Oh, leaned into doesn't even begin to cover it. We're talking billions invested in these AI factories. And a huge chunk of the technical sessions were healthcare focused. It's clear this isn't just an add-on for them anymore. It's central to where they see AI going, becoming a fundamental tool.
And that's fascinating because drug discovery is notoriously, incredibly complex and expensive. Years and billions, right? So how exactly are they times applying AI? And what were some of the big announcements we should really know about?
Okay, so the big story revolves around what they're calling foundation models. But for biology, think of it like training a massive AI on just tons and tons of biological data, genomes, proteins, you name it. So it learns the underlying rules of how biology, times works.
Like a biological language model, almost?
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. And the star of the show here was their Evo 2 model. And get this, it was trained on over 9 times trillion times nucleotides. 9 times trillion. That gives it this incredible ability to understand genetic variations and even, get this, design times genomes.
9 trillion nucleotides. That's a truly staggering amount of data. So this model can analyze genetic information and potentially even help in creating new sequences? That feels a bit sci-fi. How would that even be used in, say, practical drug discovery?
Right? It does feel a bit futuristic, but picture this. Understanding how really subtle genetic variations impact a disease, or potentially designing customized proteins tuned for a very specific therapeutic effect. And Evo 2 is open source too, which is a significant move, encouraging community-driven research with, such a powerful tool.
Open sourcing something that can times design, times new genomes. That does raise some pretty serious ethical questions and potential dual-use risks, doesn't it? Could it be used for unintended purposes? How are they addressing that?
That's a really, really important point, and they were quite upfront about it. NVIDIA's been clear about needing ethical use attestations. Basically, you have to agree to use it responsibly, and working with groups like the ARC Institute to try and ensure responsible development. The idea, I think, is that by making it open, the broader scientific community can collectively build safeguards and better understand its capabilities, rather than it being developed behind closed doors.
That makes sense. It's about balancing the potential for incredible breakthroughs with the genuine need for caution and oversight. Beyond these big foundation models, what about making these tools accessible to the scientists who are actually doing the wet lab research day to day? The people at the bench?
That's where the BioNeMo NIM microservices come in. Think of BioNeMo as a whole suite of pre-trained AI models for biology. Stuff for protein folding, molecular docking, and the like. And the NIM microservices are like putting these powerful tools into easy-to-consume, almost downloadable packages.
Sort of like plug-and-play AI for biologists who aren't AI experts?
Yeah, pretty much. Instead of needing a massive compute cluster and a team of AI experts just to run a protein simulation, researchers can deploy these containerized models with minimal overhead. We saw examples like Sapio Sciences integrating AlphaFold and DiffDoc NIMs directly into their lab notebook platforms.
So, a scientist in the lab, working in software they're already familiar with, could potentially run complex protein simulations or molecular docking studies without ever leaving their familiar environment? That sounds like it could seriously speed up those early, time-consuming phases.
Exactly. Sapio talked about reducing time to docking results from hours to minutes. And Cadence, another partner, is using these NIMs in their platform for things like predicting how a drug might be metabolized or interact with the body, and they were apparently seeing over 100x speedups in some specific workflows.
Wow, those kinds of speedups. That could have a significant impact on the pace and cost of drug discovery, moving things from maybe a decade timeline to less? And You mentioned hardware earlier, the engine driving all this. How does that fit in?
Right, the hardware is crucial. They talked about the Blackwell Ultra GPUs, enabling these massive models, which makes sense. You need serious power for 9 trillion nucleotides. But they also unveiled this thing called the DGX Spark supercomputer. The really noteworthy part about Spark is it's designed to be Kaiman scale, much more accessible for academic labs and smaller biotech companies who might not have room for a data center.
A desktop supercomputer specifically for biology research? That does feel like it's democratizing access to high-performance computing in this specific space. So Mark, taking a step back, what's the bigger picture you see emerging here with NVIDIA and AI in life sciences? What's the ultimate aim?
I think what we're really seeing is NVIDIA pushing to be a foundational layer, not just selling chips, but building a complete ecosystem for AI-driven biology. It's the combination of these powerful models like Evo 2, the accessible tools like BioNeMo NIMs, and the hardware like DGX Spark. It creates this environment where groundbreaking research can happen faster and, perhaps, more effectively.
And when you combine that with all these partnerships with companies already deeply embedded in the life sciences space, like Sapio and Cadence, it seems like they're creating those crucial bridges needed for these AI advancements to actually translate into new discoveries, new treatments. Real-world impact.
Precisely. It's not just about the raw technology. It's about putting that technology directly into the hands of the scientists, integrating it into their existing workflows, and ultimately accelerating the entire journey, from understanding the complexities of biology to developing potentially life-saving therapies. It's a significant shift we're witnessing in the field.
Indeed it is. It genuinely feels like AI is moving beyond just analyzing data and is starting to actively participate in the scientific process itself, almost like a powerful digital assistant. Fascinating stuff from GTC this year, truly showing the direction of travel.
Seriously, I could discuss it all day, Jenny. But I think we've given our listeners a solid overview of some of the major strides being made in this incredibly exciting space.
Agreed. It's definitely a space to keep a close eye on moving forward. Thanks for breaking it down for us, Mark, with all your characteristic enthusiasm.
Anytime, Jenny. My pleasure. And thanks to all of you for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.